Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're going to talk about how, once again, Behavior Interactive is a stupid company and development team. Oh, yeah. So basically, 2 days ago, I think, as the time this comes out, they made a post on Reddit, and they were confronting, or they were addressing the talks of favoritism within the development team. And of course, my last video literally talked about how stupid as hell they are at being a development team. So I feel like making this video is very connected to my thoughts on what I had said in my last video. So let's get started. They start this post off by saying, so basically the question that I think the OP asked was why, like, they were asking about favoritism within the game mode, of why, you know, survivors get this amount of favoritism in Black Banquet, and why they get, like, you know, buffs in Lights Out when it's meant to be scary. And this is how they started. So let's get into it. That is a very interesting question. At the base, there is no such thing as intentional favoritism within the team. This is just a blatant lie. I mean, let's just get off, just right off the bat, blatant lie. Just blatant. All they do is look at data points and data metrics. They look at numbers. There is not a single piece of actual development going on. It's just tweaking numbers. And there is clear bias to survivors. You can look at all the other videos I have pointed out with the changes that go around, how they don't consider perk bugs as broken. They don't think perk bugs are broken and should be disabled. They think they are perfectly fine and okay. And survivors get what? They get endurance. They get broken abilities that require no prerequisites. I've said this over and over and over and over. I'm tired of repeating myself. We'll give them some time to explain themselves. Continuing. Our team is very focused on all of our players. Now, continuing. Not just who plays what side. During our internal playtests, we have all kind of profiles from beginner to experts with many favorite roles, and everyone shares feedback. So please explain to me, Behavior Interactive development team of Dead by Daylight, the game, during your Walking Dead patch, how does a poll get past you if you have internal playtesters? You don't. You are lying straight to my face. You're spitting out my face. Literally hot, wet glob on my face. You're lying to me. You do not have internal playtesters. Nobody playtests your game until it goes to either the PTB or it goes live. You're lying straight to our faces. You do not have internal playtesters. All you do is tweak numbers. All you do is change things that don't need to be changed, and you never change the things that need to be changed. Continuing. We also rely on our precious consultants for amazing feedback. I.e., the people who love to suckle on our tit, our shills. The average content creator who tells you to kiss the boot of survivor bias. That's who their consultants are. Don't be fooled by this. They're making you want to eat their boot and say, "Thank you, massa. Thank you for making me eat your boot." Continuing. Now, there are many other things at play, but I wanted to focus on one. The concept of role-sided versus role-favored. Role-sided is when the absolute balance, killer rate / escape rate, is wrong. Looking at data points and not actual gameplay. Sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. I can't. They're fucking morons. I'm sorry. Continuing. We try to make things balanced whenever... What the hell is this? Hold on. Continuing. We try to make things balanced whenever, but balancing asymmetry with 40 plus killers is not easy. We balance this every iterations of an event. Okay, so the person writing this is either doesn't speak English or is a literal mindless ape. I'm gonna go with they don't speak English, so we're just gonna let that slide because, you know, I'm not gonna worry about their spelling. But let's go back to when they said the concept of role-sided versus role-favored. Oh, never mind. It continues in the next paragraph. I'm done. Role-favored would be when the interaction with the new content feels more meaningful for one role than the other. Since you mentioned Black Banquet and Lights Out, I'll use them as an example. Okay. Black Banquet had a bunch of meal effects for survivors and the poison for killers. The poison was really strong, but killers could only do that so it didn't feel meaningful. It didn't feel meaningful. So they're saying killers could only have, the only ability killers had was the poison, which made it feel less meaningful. Continuing, not because of the strength or usefulness of that one mechanic, but more because survivors had many toys and the killers had one. So like I just said, that right there is what we would call survivor favored. The strength and kill rate ultimately doesn't matter. Everyone wants to have access to the new fun mechanics. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna let them finish their hot take. For lights out, it might surprise a few of you, but Lights Out was quite killer sighted and killer favored. In surveys, players shared that the survivor experience was lacking, so we have been trying to improve the experience for everyone to enjoy. So, pulling back for a second, I'm going to stop reading because I'm just not giving commentary. It was quite killer sighted and killer favored because the killer role is the power role in your asymmetrical horror game. Yes, of course, the Lights Out game mode where you have no information is going to feel killer sighted when the killer has the power to kill you. Wow, that is shocking. That is so shocking that a killer will have more favored. It should be this way in your asymmetrical horror game, that the killer has a tilt and advantage because he has the power. He has the power role. It should feel like that. And for Lights Out, you should feel terrified and you're lacking something because you have no information. Going up to what they said about Black Banquet, that would feel survivor favored. The strength and kill rate doesn't ultimately matter. Everyone wants to have access to the new fun game mechanics. Behavior interactive. The kill rate matters because killing people in your game is fun. Winning is fun. Nobody on this planet Earth will tell you that winning is not fun. Nobody will ever tell you that. The kill rate coincides with having fun because killing means winning in your asymmetrical horror game. Continuing. In the first iteration, no roles had much mechanics, but killers were favored because they had tools such as camping, aura reading of gens, plus exit gate. They could hear injured survivors fairly easily, plus some killers had advantages in their base kit to track people down despite the darkness. Once again, like I said, the killer is the power role. They should be more powerful and menacing in a game mode where you have no information. This game mode isn't about it being fair. It's about experiencing the horror of Dead by Daylight. Who in their right mind loads up Lights Out and goes, oh yeah bro, I want to stomp the killer out and make them feel useless? No, just play the normal game mode if you want to stomp on the killer. Why are you playing a game mode to stomp on the killer that's meant for the horror? I don't understand this logic that they're putting through my brain. So hold on, before we continue, I need to point this out. They keep saying killers were favored. Lights Out was quite killer sighted and killer favored. That right there is what we would call survivor favored. Role favored would be when the interaction with the new content feels more meaningful for one role than the other. So it's sighted to one role. I'm going to tell you right now what this is. This is called moving the goalpost. They're shifting the goalpost to the side so that it's not called it as an extreme, and it's more, oh, the game mode is more favored. The game mode is more favored. It's not sighted. They're playing mind games with you to make it seem like they're not doing such a bad job. Oh, it's not survivor sighted. It's survivor favored. They're moving the goalpost to make the damage of their idiotic game design less impactful. They're playing mind games with you. Do you understand this? They're making you feel dumb. They're trying to insult your intelligence by saying it's role favored. What is this? They're spitting in your face. But guess what? The majority of survivor players, I'm gonna say the majority because I know some of you, like me, aren't falling for this fucking matrix mind control. They want you to put their boot in your mouth and lick it clean. What is this, bro? They want you to go, oh yes, Behavior Interactive, thank you for making my game more survivor-sided because the killer is big and scary. Their game design makes the survivor playstyle play on its own with haste, with endurance. Oh, hold on. I want to talk about something real quick. So, you know in the normal game mode, right, that the survivor, what's it called? I forgot. Anti-camp, my bad. The anti-camp where you obviously get off the hook if you're being camped by the killer. They made the anti-camp 60 meters in Lights Out. 60 meters. You could be in a whole ass chase with a different survivor and get off the hook. The game is playing itself by this point. The game is playing itself. And also, in their most recent dev stream, they reduced the endurance timer from 15. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, playing Survivor 15, that was literally borderline abuse. They literally called out the abuse on stream. They literally recognized that survivors abuse endurance, so they turned it back to 10 just for Lights Out to be 60 seconds. What the hell are we doing? Windows of opportunity. Gens have increased repair speed at the start of the game. Oh, let me say this. The reason in Lights Out that gen repair speeds had progress on them at the start of the game was because obviously the survivors can't see the generator, so they make you hear it because it's pitch black, right? So you want to hear it. This is literally useless with the new candles, because all you have to do is have a candle up your ass and you see windows and generators, defeating the purpose of having 5% on the generator. And also the candles increase the generator repair speed. What the hell are we doing? You can't call this survivor favored. We're giving the survivors a fucking advantage. What the hell are we doing? I can't. This is mind-numbing. This is mind-numbing game design, bro. I know I'm being loud, but this is insulting your intelligence. They're lying to your face. Oh my god, I need to take a break. Hold on. Damn. Okay, let's continue. Where the hell was I? Continuing. So in version 2, we added a bit more on the survivor side to balance things out. Lanterns may feel survivor favored, but holding a lantern also paints a target on your back, which is a killer advantage. A lantern being held or placed on a gen are useful intel for the killer. I want to meet this person in the eyes. I want to meet this person face to face and ask them this question. And I'm going to ask them, what does holding a lantern do? Oh, let's see the survivor. You, the viewer watching, you intellectual survivor player or killer player. Let me ask you this. What do scratch marks do? Oh, did you just say, let you see the survivor? Oh my god! Oh my god, it's a fucking epiphany. Oh my goodness, bro. We just added scratch marks to Lights Out. What is his point? That lanterns lets you see the survivors in the dark. Oh, normal gameplay ensues. Chase the survivor. What is this point you're trying to make, behavior? Oh, you're holding a lantern. You see this, the killer can see you. Oh, the killer sees your scratch marks. The killer can see you. Let the normal gameplay commence. What the fuck is this point? I'm gonna have to bleep some of these I almost said another cuss word. I'll have to bleep some of these curse words out, bro. It's idiotic. They're spitting in your face. Let the gameplay ensue. And this last part, a lantern being placed on a gen or useful intel for the killer. That's called patrolling generators. That you can already see. Continuing. We continue to try to improve the experience in V3 by targeting some more aggravating elements, such as showing the exit gate. Survivors had to run along the walls to find the exit gate while the killer just saw them. It was kind of unfair in our opinion. Now, I could kinda agree with you on this behavior. Seeing the exit gate is very crucial. In a lot of normal Dead by Daylight games, if you don't see the exit gates, it's over. But let me ask you this question. How is the killer gonna see you if you just crouch along the wall or walk along the wall until you find the exit gate? This issue becomes noticeably less impactful when all you have to do is put your ass to the wall and walk behind it. I'm telling you, the killer, okay, maybe the killer will find you. Maybe he'll see you. Maybe. As long as you're not running around with like a headless chicken, you'll be completely okay in most games. I understand why they made this change, but to say it's unfair is kind of pushing it. Maybe to say it was frustrating would be a better way to describe this. Saying it's unfair is like saying a killer seeing a lantern is an advantage. You know, you get what I'm getting at? Continuing, my bad. So sometimes it might seem like we're favoring one role over the other, but we are trying to balance the experience so everyone can have fun. And we don't always get it right. We try new things, and sometimes those new things don't work in real world gameplay. Oh my goodness. I made this exact point in my last video. It's fucking shocking that you're so predictable. Continuing. Does not work out in real world gameplay, and we learn from that. Okay. So, behavior interactive, I'm going to ask you this. When was the last time you made a nerf to survivors? Oh, wait. What's that? It's only perks? Oh. G fucking G. Every single balance is to shoot the killer over and over and over. Crew patch, elusiveness, anti-camp, anti-hook. I'm gonna tell you this right now, as a veteran player who's been playing this game ever since it came out on console, 2 months after it came to console, I've damn near never seen a game-changing change go to the survivors that doesn't negatively impact them. The killer is always getting shot out back in every single change. What the hell are you learning from? You're making the same mistakes over and over. Maybe instead of nerfing the killer, you should nerf the survivors. Lastly, but do tell us in survey whether you disagree and share what you would like for your role. Go back to the way DBD was. I can't, bro. I mean, like, I love Dead by Daylight, right? I love Dead by Daylight, but this development team is a leech. It's a cancer. They're a cancer to this game. I don't want to say it because maybe I'm talking about my ass. If behavior wasn't developing Dead by Daylight, this game may not be in the horrible state it is in right now, where the survivors literally get spoon-fed with a silver spoon everything they want. I can't add much to what I've already said in multiple of my videos. I can't add to what I already said in my other videos. I can't add more because I'm just repeating myself. I'm just repeating myself over and over and over and over and over and over. Behavior Interactive is a shitty development company who should not have this game. They are morons. They do not know how to develop their game. Even after, we try to learn from our mistakes. You keep making your mistakes over and over and over. It goes in one ear, right out the other. You do not learn from your mistakes. You keep making these mistakes that you learn from. That's all I had to say. You'll definitely see me again if another idiotic DBD patch comes out. But until next time, peace out.